Hey, wrestling fans, I'm Kevin,
I'm Chris.
and we are the Cross Promo Show. Well, we already had welcomed you guys to our channel, and this is our first video that we're putting out on YouTube, and just giving you guys kind of a brief idea about our wrestling fandom, if you will, and why pro wrestling and why we're a long fan. I mean, come on, I've got this shirt here, of WrestleMania 14. Stone Cold Steve Austin, Shawn Michaels. I'm a long-time wrestling fan. But what we'll do first, Chris, I'll have you go ahead and go first and just talk about, how you got into, what started you to become a fan of wrestling and everything. It's kind of like an interview thing. You and me will interview one another kind of thing, So you kick it off.
I remember it started with the game. And then I started watching some of the shows. I think one of the first ones I watched that I remember was I know there was a last man standing match with Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns.
Yeah, that was during COVID, actually, when they were in the Thunderdome.
Oh, that was a while ago then.
4 years ago.
Oof.
For as long as Roman's been champion.
Yeah. I think in a show before that, Bianca Belair picked up Otis.
Oh yeah, but that one was right before COVID hit. That was that was in front of a live audience. I think that was like one of the last SmackDowns before COVID, if I remember right. I'm not sure.
Kind of on and off.
Put it in the comments if you guys remember the proper order, because
I don't. That was back when I was watching on and off, instead of more like we're doing now, where it's the weekly shows.
Yeah.
Staying on top of things for the most part.
Yeah.
And now that's basically that.
As far as how you got into your start, I guess it's my turn.
You said you were a longtime fan, so
I am longtime fan. Started watching professional wrestling when I was about 3 or 4. So a lot of you are probably going, "Dear God, this dude's old." I'm only 38. Okay. No. It was about 1988, 1989, when I got my first taste, if you will, of professional wrestling. And the first thing I remember in my mind that stood out, it was prior to WrestleMania 5, I believe. And it was before Hulk Hogan versus Macho Man Randy Savage for the WWE. I gotta say E, don't want to be tied in with World Wildlife Foundation or
you
whatever.
could just say the World Wrestling Federation.
I guess you could say World Wrestling Federation, but I digress.
The whole panda thing.
We digress.
Funny though.
But we digress. I gotta stop saying that. Quit making me say that. Anyway. Okay, you can stand there and smile. Go ahead. God, you're creepy.
I'm gonna make him say it again.
Anyway, I just remember they were briefly talking about their upcoming match, not Hogan and Savage, but it was that whole thing with backstage when Hogan was tending to Miss Elizabeth because she got injured at ringside during one of their tag matches. And here comes Macho Man getting all frustrated and like, if you would have came at me one-on-one and told me about it face-to-face, then yeah, sure. It was one of those kind of promos, and then Savage attacked Hogan, and that's what led to the main event at WrestleMania 5. That's what stood out in my mind. Since then, I was watching wrestling since then. I lived through the end of the golden era, right into the new generation, and straight into the Attitude Era, then into... I went through a lot of eras. Went through the Golden Era, went through the New Generation Era, went through the Attitude Era, went through Ruthless Aggression, went through the PG Era, and now the current one, which is called, I guess, the Reality Era. I guess it's what it's called. I don't know. I don't remember them actually putting a term on it, but as
the
of
current era.
Well, as of what we just had seen recently with The Rock and Cody Rhodes, and I know this is probably going to be dating the video now, but
the filming of it anyway.
A lot of fans are now saying that this could be the new Attitude Era because of you know, promos, curse words in there, you know, a lot of things going on.
He said a bad word.
He says that every time.
It's funny.
Every single time. Especially when we watch AEW. It's like he's waiting for that to be said. And even when the crowd starts chanting, holy, holy, this one. He's over here R-truthing it going, that's not PG. I got a mini R-truth over here. Anyway, so real quick, Chris, with you starting to watch and everything, who were your favorite wrestlers from so far as what you've seen? Because you did dive in a little bit. I did introduce you to the Attitude Era. I didn't get you into the Ruthless Aggression Era just yet, but
I think we kind of started on it, but haven't really.
Kind of
The barely beginning.
Kind of dipped into it, and but we will. You'll see, because that one, I think, out of the eras, right next to, I think the Ruthless Aggression Era, it's right up there, equivalent to the Attitude Era, and I know a lot of people are going to get into the comments going, I don't know what you're talking about, Attitude Era was the best, da-da-da-da. I understand. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. I'm meaning no disrespect. We're not meaning any disrespect with our videos or with our show.
I'm sure everybody has their favorite eras. I haven't really picked one yet. Because
I mean, you're starting to watch, because you've also started to watch the WrestleManias, because WrestleMania is right around the corner. WrestleMania 40, again, dating the video, but you're starting to watch kind of you're watching the golden era right now of WWE.
As far as the Manias.
As far as the Manias, you're in the golden era right now. You're gonna soon get into the new generation, into which was like the early 90s. But again, back to the question: favorite wrestlers so far that you've seen? Who? Because I know everyone says, you know, what's your Mount Rushmore of professional wrestling? I don't want you to put a Mount Rushmore. We've had an episode on this on our podcast. If you guys want to go back to it, if you want, because you had a top 10, but if you were to put together, how about this? We'll do it this way, even better, even easier, and you guys put in the comment section too of answers to these questions, because we want to know we want to know our viewers, you know, get to know you guys as well. But if you were to put together a faction, and it would need to be a faction of, say, 5 people, like the Judgment Day, okay, who are your 5? And it could be a mixture. It could be of men and women. Who are your 5? And it could be of any era. Could be inserting the Jeopardy music right about now, too.
I think that would get copyrighted, though.
Probably.
Say Cody and The Rock. Both of them.
Them in a faction. All right.
Which, depending on how things go at Mania. Because we've got.
Come on, we all know. Everyone out there knows The Rock is going to betray Roman some way, somehow.
But what if it's meant to make us think that and it doesn't?
Hey, that would be the ultimate swerve of all. So, again, okay, so you've got Cody, you've got Rock, you've got 3 more choices to put in this faction.
Rhea Ripley.
Okay. Oh, okay. Rhea Ripley.
Let's see. Macho Man.
Okay. Okay.
And Rey Mysterio.
Rey Mysterio. So you got, okay. Macho. Okay.
Oh, well.
No, that was your 5. That was your 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just remembered Bray Wyatt. So.
Okay. You could put Bray Wyatt in there, but who would you replace Bray Wyatt with?
I don't know.
You got to think about that one.
Probably Macho Man.
Okay. All right. Now I got to ask the question of each and every single one. Why Cody?
The story that has been told recent story.
Don't put it in the comments. We know.
I mean, the story.
Sorry to make things funny, but hey, we're living it up here. Go for it.
It's like you're gonna Cody and the story and
No, oh, no. Why do you want Cody in this faction?
I'd say definitely a lot of what he's done since he got back. He hasn't really tapped out to anyone yet.
Okay.
He passed out that one time with Brock Lesnar, but he passed out, not tapped out. So.
Okay. And you've seen his work in AEW as well. So okay. Why The Rock?
The Rock, funny. Enjoy watching him.
Why are you talking like a caveman? Why did that just all of a sudden just come out? So
enjoy watching what The Rock has done. Again, funny. A lot of the stuff he's doing.
You've seen his past promos, I take it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. Ray. Again, what the stuff he does in the ring.
Ray. At his age.
Yeah. Even now.
Okay.
Ripley, because, well, I mean, you said something about the Judgment Day, but
why would you pick Rhea Ripley?
Again, kind of what she's done in and out the ring, as far as all of that. Another funny character. Some of the stuff that's happened around that.
Okay. And why Bray Wyatt?
The characters that he's come up with, kind of. And the thing is, a lot of them have been around for a while. That he's kind of worked with them.
Oh yeah. Since wow, I want to say 10 years. I think. Minus 2000. Minus this year, 2024. Again, dating the video.
2024.
Because May You Rest in Peace passed away last year. Okay, so
the creativity
he's had. Okay, I guess it would be my turn then. My 5.
It's going to be a lot harder for him.
Yeah, I've got too long of a list because I've watched for 30 plus years. So, my 5. I'm going to put Cody in there. Some of these are going to be like, yep, I knew that you're going to do that. I'm going to put Cody in there. I'm going to put Stone Cold Steve Austin in there.
It's on his shirt.
It's on my shirt. As far as females go, if I'm to put a female wrestler in there, I would say Rhea Ripley as well. And so I already got Cody, Stone Cold, Rhea Ripley.
That's
I got 2. I need 2 more people. Definitely Bray Wyatt, and I would say
he only has one more pick.
One more pick. I know, and I've got a Rolodex, if that even dates me. I've got a long list of favorite wrestlers. And God, this is so hard for the final one.
It was like this with the top 10 things.
Yeah, it was. Go to our that episode of our top 10 list. You'll hear me because it's audio episode. We don't have any video episodes yet. It was just, God, I'm torn because I want to say Undertaker because I've been a long time Undertaker fan. When I really got into it even more deeply, I had watched The Undertaker so much. And then, of course, I love House of Black. I love what they're doing. I've already got Bray Wyatt in there. I've got a Sinister Dark character in there. I've got that. Okay. Along with Rhea Ripley because she's pretty awesome.
I wasn't thinking about like different character types. what I did by. So.
Well, I know, but for me, because of my personality and stuff that I'm into, I mean, I could throw The Rock in there, but no, because I only say five because I didn't want to get NWO numbers where they had like
The entire
like half if not more of their roster was NWO.
they really did take over.
They really did. God. Okay, think. Who do I want to put in there? I'm gonna have to go with Bret Hart. I have to go with Bret Hart. I would have said CM Punk, but God, I could have put CM Punk in. I could have. You know what? Since you changed yours, you put Bray Wyatt in for Macho Man. I'm gonna have to put in CM Punk.
In place of.
God, a lot of people are gonna hate me for this. I'm gonna have to take out Cody and replace it with CM Punk. Oh God. Oh God. Oh, the comments are now gonna flood. Why would you do this? Why would you do that? Why would you do this with CM Punk? You know he sucks. I get it, okay, but I'll go through the list of why now, okay? The reason I was originally picking Cody was because, yes, he has a story to fulfill, but I watched his dad wrestle when I was growing up. Towards the end of his career, of course. But I also saw his brother wrestle, and I saw how that family, you know, had actually went through the many years of wrestling. You had Dusty go through the 70s, 80s, and into the 90s, and then Dusty picked up from the 90s into the 2000s, and it kind of went to sleep a little bit just for a brief period. They kind of took like a year or so or a couple off, and here comes Cody. So now I'm a fan of Cody's. If we were to make a list of wrestling fans, then it'd be too long of a video for you guys. So I'll move on. Reason why I picked Stone Cold, it was how he did his promos, starting from ECW, because when he went to ECW, he only worked on his promos. I can just see I make a big dark shadow here. Look at that. Look at it. Anyway, sorry, I have ADD. The way Stone Cold did his promos, remarkable, great. I loved his promos and the stuff he did in the ring. He was a brawler, loved it. Moving on to Rhea Ripley. She has done a lot in the amount of years she's been with WWE, from the time she debuted it was like a Mae Young tournament that she was in. Just been a fan of her since she debuted in NXT and then into the main roster. She did great, and she's continuing to do great things. I mean, became the first WWE World's Women's Champion with that title. She's the inaugural champion of that specific title, and she's had great defenses, I'd say, for the span of almost, a year now, give or take?
At Mania,
close to a year. Well,
at WrestleMania.
Yeah, it will. At WrestleMania, again, dating, it will be up to a year of her title reign. But her promo skills and her in-ring work, so great. What even showed how much of her character was, I can't remember which match it was, but she started bleeding from her nose.
Oh, the nose ring thing.
And then she's just embracing it or whatever, and I'm like, okay, I'm backing her. You know, I'm all for that. Next video. God.
I guess you just had
next one
for the
was
next video.
Yeah, I know, right? Bloopers. The next one I picked was Bray Wyatt. because I watched his career back when NXT first started.
I only caught the tail end of the career.
You caught the tail end, yeah, of the Fiend, and then him coming back after he got re-signed. But I watched his debut as not Michael McGillicuddy. That's someone else. He went under a different name, and I can't remember. But everyone knows what I'm talking about. That is a long fan of Bray Wyatt. He started out, and his name wasn't Bray Wyatt, but he was a part of Nexus. That was his first faction he was a part of, and that was like the very inaugural episode of NXT. And then became Bray Wyatt. Follow the Buzzards, everything like that. He's got the whole world in his hands, the Fireflies. Everything came along after that. Everything just fell right into place for him. He had the Wyatt family, his second faction that he was in charge of, had a great run and was great in the ring. The characters were so believable. They were so real, so good, And
I remember at one point there was an old promo he did where it was like kind of foreshadowing for the Fiend.
It was. Yeah, it was. It was him when he was a part of the Wyatt family, when he was running the Wyatt family. And then, of course, came along the Fiend and his, like, Mr. Rogers kind of character in a way, showing that he's showing the two sides of him. The real nice, Mr. Rogers type, and then you got the Fiend, which is like him. I feel honestly the Fiend character was really, really just him. And then hearing he got released, I was like, really? Why did they let him go? Then he came back, and that was even more exciting. And then, of course, passing away last year, that came as a shock to me.
I remember I was getting notes on Impact at the time.
You were getting notes on Impact. It was a Thursday. Yeah, it was a Thursday, and I came home, and we immediately had to make a TikTok video about that. Just simply just saying, hey, I want to send out our condolences and everything. That was really heartbreaking. That was for me, that was about as heartbreaking as Eddie Guerrero's passing, and as heartbreaking as Owen Hart's passing. Because Owen Hart, he had a long way to go before he was done with WWE, and then his sudden death shocked everybody, including Eddie Guerrero's. That one hurt, and then Bray Wyatt, which hurt even more. But then, okay, so moving on, I picked Bret Hart because Bret Hart was the very first actual wrestler that I became a fan of. Granted, I liked Hulk Hogan, I liked Ultimate Warrior, but I got to see guys that were like giants, basically. But then Bret Hart comes along and just shows that a guy of normal stature, can accomplish a lot in the ring, and he sure did. I mean, his matches were very believable. His moves, very believable. And, of course, his submission move, the sharpshooter, was the very first submission move I learned and taught myself,
Don't try this at home.
Don't try it at home. I mean, granted,
I know we might have tried it at home, but that doesn't mean you should.
No, we don't. We don't emphasize that. But I became a fan of Bret Hart's when he left WWE for WCW. It was like,
the controversy.
The controversy behind that one, I was like, God, no. And then you've seen the documentaries and him talking about his stint in WCW. He didn't enjoy it. He wanted to stay in WWE, but with certain circumstances, it made him decide otherwise. But CM Punk Okay, why I'm putting CM Punk in here, and hear me out. Don't automatically like.
Hear me out.
But he is what he says. He's great in the ring and great on the mic. When I watched him, when he came into WWE, he was great on the microphone, great on the promos, and he was great in the ring too. And it's like with every year, he was wanting to be better and better and better and better. And his promos were just, I mean, it was like he studied great promos of, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, Bret Hart, Macho Man, Hulk Hogan, guys that have done great promos. Roddy Piper,
You almost forgot about putting him in the list too, didn't you?
I could have put him in the list, but
there's a lot of guys he could have put in the faction thing.
yeah, but those would be my 5. Let's see. I would ask you your favorite era, but you haven't really seen all the eras yet. You haven't seen the Ruthless Aggression yet. You saw some of the Attitude Era. You haven't seen the New Generation, or you're just starting the Golden Era. What? So okay. As of right now, as far as what you've seen, which era seems more interesting to you? Because you've seen bits and pieces of the Ruthless Aggression. You've seen Attitude, basically. You have. And you just started on the Golden Era and only seen a little bit of the New Generation. As far as right now, from what you've seen, which era are you liking right now? Because it can change.
I think I'm gonna go with the current one.
The current era that we're in right now?
That's the one I've seen the most of.
Okay. Fair. That's fair. It's very fair. For me, like I said,
He's seen more, so it's gonna be harder for him.
he likes to pick on me because of that. It's like, Dad, you're old. You've seen so many eras. You've seen so many wrestlers.
Doesn't have to be a bad thing, but it is kind of funny sometimes.
I've got knowledge. Anyway, with me, the eras, I want to say it would have to be a tie between the Attitude Era and, because you had a lot of greats that came out of the Attitude Era. You had The Undertaker, you had Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, Triple H. You had DX, for crying out loud. Guys that have revolutionized, the world and professional wrestling as we know it. Then you've got the Ruthless Aggression Era. You've got Eddie Guerrero, John Cena, Rey Mysterio, Big Show. You've got a lot of guys that came out of that era as well, just to name a few. I know I've probably left some out, not on purpose. I would definitely say it would be a tie between Attitude and Ruthless Aggression. Because those felt more realistic to me in those eras. Granted, I watched the New Generation. The New Generation was fine for the age I was, and I was a little kid looking at all these gimmick wrestlers, such as like Dr. Yankum, the dentist, who, by the way, was really Kane.
So
he was a dentist before he became Undertaker's brother. Go figure.
They got a Kane backstory here.
Yeah.
Sort of.
You had, what were some other gimmicks? You had Doink, but Doink was a pretty good one. Doink was a pretty good character there. You had Dumpster Drozy, guy that was basically a garbage guy.
Oh, the trash man.
No.
Come to find out that was a real gimmick.
That was a real gimmick. Who else? The Repo Man. He would just go around stealing gear. One time he stole Macho Man's hat, and they had a match just to get Macho Man's hat back or something. What were some other Minotaur? There was a guy with a bull that came to the ring with a bull on his head. What else was there? There was like Booger, a guy that dressed up as like Friar Tuckman, or Friar Tuckman. I've been watching too much of Robin Hood Men in Tights. Friar Tuck. There were some odd ones too, very odd ones.
Wasn't there a chicken?
The Gobbledygooker. He was a turkey.
Oh,
Came out
same thing.
Came out the same time as Undertaker, because it was Gobbledygooker.
On one hand, Undertaker. On the other,
Gobbledygooker.
yeah.
Who was also, fun fact, Gobbledygooker was Hector Guerrero, Eddie Guerrero's older brother. I feel bad for him because it's like, you're a great wrestler. Let's put you in a turkey outfit. And that was his only run at WWE, was the Gobbledygooker. That was it. Okay. Next, favorite tag team. You only pick one. Only one favorite tag team, and it could be of any era that you've seen so far.
I've seen a few good tag teams too, though.
Mm-hmm.
New Day's a good one. FTR is doing a lot of good matches.
If you've listened to our show,
Some of the best
they had made match of the week so many times, or match of the week and match of the night so many times. So they're right up there. Okay, but you got to pick one.
Let's see, I'll just go with the New Day.
Okay.
I'll go with
Okay,
the New Day.
you go with the New Day. If I had to pick one, okay, why the New Day? Sorry, I'm
the stuff they do, good in the ring, good on the mic, the funny stuff that I've seen too.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, what was one they've done recently? Didn't they come out of it was a Christmas thing, I think, where they came out of boxes.
They came out as no, they were Nutcrackers.
That's what they were, yeah. I knew it was a Christmas thing because
I think they attacked Imperium. They lived up to the name. Okay, if I had to pick one tag team, and it had to be a great tag team, any era, I don't know. I'm torn there too. Because I can go locally and say the Von Erichs. I can go with their rivals, the Freebirds. I can go with the famous tag team rivalry, and that was the British Bulldogs and the Hart Foundation. Of course, the Usos. Let's not take them out of the equation or conversation. Or the Legion of Doom, or the Road Warriors, however you want to name them. When they were with WWE, they were the Legion of Doom. When they were with WCW and NWA, they were Road Warriors. So, if I had to pick one tag team.
There's also probably more he's thinking of too.
I know, I just thought of the Hardys.
What about the Hart Foundation?
I just mentioned the Hart Foundation. I would.
What about the Dudleys?
The Dudleys, the Hollywood Blondes. Jeez. I did this to myself. I know. A lot of people are watching going, he did this to himself. He dug himself in his own hole. Oh, God. I'm going to say the Von Erichs. They had a huge following, and they were known worldwide. They were. But they had a huge following here in DFW. For those that are not familiar, Dallas-Fort Worth. We live in that metroplex. But they were huge here. You mentioned Von Erichs, and people were like, yes, Von Erichs. And, I mean, granted, yeah, it was tragic and everything. And we watched Iron Claw, and we'll do a video of that. Good movie. We'll do a review of that movie later on down the road.
We'll have him talk about the inaccuracies.
I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to pick apart a movie like that. I'm not going to take apart inaccuracies. But
Good movie though.
Good movie, great movie. Well, I don't know what questions you have for me, because we picked out our favorite wrestlers and we put them in a faction. Picked out our favorite tag teams. We talked about favorite eras.
Your thoughts on what's going on now with WWE stuff?
Thoughts going on now with WWE stuff.
And AEW stuff.
And AEW.
The state of things.
All I can say is it's great to be a wrestling fan. You've got
favorite company, favorite promotion.
Oh, no, you can't do that. Not with
favorite
me.
Promotion.
I go the most neutral way possible, and I say all of them, because
but if you had to pick
nope,
one,
I couldn't pick one.
Not even gonna try.
I'm a fan of all professional wrestling. I only like, if my younger self were to pick,
WWE.
it would go WWE.
Yeah.
Because
or WWF at the time.
Or that at the time. I would go that route. But if I am to say now currently, as a wrestling fan, it's great to be a wrestling fan because you've got so many promotions that you can sit and watch. Because back then, it was WWE and WCW growing up for me. It was those two. Those were the only two well-known ones. Then came along Ring of Honor. Then came along AEW. Then TNA. And TNA Impact. Either way, I'm a fan of all of them. And I can't pick one. And the current state of them right now, it's great. Because when one wrestler cannot excel in one promotion, they can in another. You see that in AEW right now. You've seen that in TNA, where some guys that could not excel much in WWE have went to other promotions and excelled there. Look at Jon Moxley. Look at
Bryan
Danielson. Look at also who else? Saraya. You can look at Saraya. You can look at the
Hardys both left WWE, I think.
Yeah, but right now there's some going on there, within AEW with them or something. FTR, they couldn't excel in the tag team division in WWE. They go to AEW and look what happened. What else? Those are just
some guys went.
Those are just to name a few.
CM Punk went back and forth. Cody went back and forth between a few of them.
Yeah. But I think we'll probably just cut it to the end there. I mean, we've been jabbering on about wrestling, but in the comments, leave us what you guys think. Your faction of 5, your favorite tag team, your favorite era, and you can also put in your favorite promotion, whether it be anywhere from WWE to New Japan. And if you like any of the promotions that are in England, name them, and of course, you guys follow our TikTok page, follow our Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and you can always email us as well.
Oh, the email, crosspromopod@gmail.com.
Very good. And then, of course,
you can...
Yay! You can also follow us on our Discord. And Chris, just elaborate real quick while we're wrapping up the Discord for our podcast. Not the other thing. That'll come in a different video, but for our podcast.
It's just Discord server, but we have wrestling stuff, or we talk about wrestling stuff.
Yeah. And then, of course, you put in that server as well something for listeners about the show, like questions of the show or something they want us to talk about or whatever.
Yeah, there's a suggestions channel in the server where if you got something you want us to talk about or an idea you have for the show or something, then you can put that there and we will look at it.
Or if you want to say something on a certain subject that we said on a previous show or here on YouTube, feel free. You know, just know if it's something negative, we're not gonna bring attention to it, because we're not all about negativity. We're all about being nice and being positive about it. We're taking the New Day route. We're the power of positivity. Anyway, oh, the Orange Cassidy thumbs up. Anyway, again, guys, like, comment, subscribe to our channel. So glad we can finally say that. So glad. Until then, we'll see you guys around, and from us, we gone.